Going on, everyone? So we're in the Druze village, Carmel Valley right now. Just came down from the mountain where Elijah had done the miracle.
Are you on scope?
Yeah, I'm scoping right now. I just thought this would be so interesting. Look at these guns and these are airsoft guns that children can buy. We saw a kid walk in the store yesterday with a full black gun, which is like 12 years old, and I was like kind of freaking out a little bit. I was telling Lisa here, if anyone was walking around with one of these in America with no orange tip or anything like that, I told her you'd be shot on the spot. Like, basically, like it would just, it'd be all over. I don't know what he's saying, but okay. But look at this. Look at these here. Can you imagine? Could you imagine walking around with one of these in America as a toy gun? And I was so shocked, man. But they definitely, it's different here, right? The atmosphere, the way people feel about guns here is different, right?
Yeah, because, you know,
most people are soldiers.
A lot of people have guns.
Hi.
How are you? A soldier. Shalom.
Alright, so how's the atmosphere towards guns different? What did you say?
Well, first, he's trying to get us into his shop to buy.
Okay.
So the issue is, you know, we have soldiers around us, and most soldiers carry guns.
Yeah.
So guns, not like in America. In here, it's not a sport. We don't use guns as a sport. And you're allowed to carry a gun.
Most people know how to use a weapon.
Well, if they've been in the army, then they've trained to use a weapon.
Yeah.
I've even had to do guard duty on the kibbutz that I lived on, and I did target practice with a very old gun.
Are you good?
Believe me, if something happened, I wouldn't have known what to do with it. But you know, we'd do guard duty at night, and we'd have guns, and I was like, I'd walk around with this gun. But you know, it's a bit of a joke because I didn't really know what to do with it.
So in Israel, if you're off duty as and you're in the military and you have a weapon, there isn't like a storage place for the weapons. You have to bring the gun home with you. Yeah, so you'll see soldiers.
My daughter was in the army, and as with all kids in the army, they come home with a gun at the weekend, and
huge, like a rifle.
Some of them are rifles,
yeah.
I don't know which one.
And that's just common.
An Uzi, or they call them Uzi.
It's common for like an 18-year-old to be walking around with an Uzi.
My daughter carried a gun on her during her service, and she'd come home with it at weekends. And if we all went out of the house, then we'd take it with us, you know. Yeah. Or we'd hide it. We'd hide it somewhere in the house.
So you can't you have to bring your weapon with you.
Yeah, if you, it's right. The worst thing in the world. My daughter forgot her weapon once on a bus, and she nearly got put in. She had to go through what do they call it? She got fined by the army. But luckily, the bus driver. We found the phone number. We called the bus driver, and he came back to give her the gun.
Oh, but she left it on the bus. She fell
asleep and had to rush off the bus.
Oh,
it was like it's the worst thing to do. Really, it's the worst
thing to do.
Don't
fall asleep with your gun on the bus.
It's terrible, but so basically the kids that carry a gun join the army, and they have to look after it over the weekend as well.
When I was in Jerusalem, I saw a lot of like unmarked men walking around with like bulletproof vest on and guns. But I walked up to one. I was like, as a tourist, how am I supposed to know that you're legit right now?
Because only people that carry guns are legit. I mean, you can't. I mean, if you're carrying a gun and it's visible, then you're licensed and you're a security guard and you're okay. And it makes us feel safe.
Okay, so last night when we went to go get a SIM card for the cell phone, a kid walked in the store holding a gun with a silencer, and I just found out today.
I didn't believe you. I didn't believe him. I said, "What? Don't be silly. How can you?"
We're walking by the shop. I was like, "That airsoft gun right there. That's exactly what he was holding." And but I didn't know. I just saw a kid walk in with like a gun, and I'm just like, if this was America, oh my goodness, you know, like people would be ducking and diving behind whatever furniture they could find.
Right.
Yeah, I was just I was amazed. So the attitude towards guns here is totally different than in the U.S.
Absolutely. So it's not a social. It's not a social thing, and it's not. Not everybody's allowed to carry a gun. I mean, you have to have a license. People that live in areas that can be, you know, a bit dangerous. They're allowed to get guns. They're licensed, and they have to renew their license every year. and then otherwise at the end of the army they give back their gun. Back to the
Sorry, I'm like swatting flies here. So, guys, we're going to go in and grab some food. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you in the next scope. Bye.